You telling me they don't look at me like the motherfucking glitch?
So to achieve this effect, you're going to use a technique called datamoshing. Specifically, you're looking for blooming. You can look up additional tutorials on that because I'm probably not going to be the best, but let's get down to it. The program that most people will tell you to get is a program known as AVI Demux. Right here. Version 2.5. That's pretty important. 2.5.6. I have it right here. If you need a link to it, I will supply it. But if you just Google AVI Demux 2.5.6 in Google, you're going to find it. So let's open this up. Right there. You're going to take a video that you have. This is just me taking off my sunglasses. Let's pop that shit in there. If you see this confirmation window pop up at any point in time during your delving into this, you're going to hit no. Just hit no. No. Yeah? If you hit yes, it breaks it. It just ruins the whole thing. So the reason you need 2.5.6 is because it has this XVID codec right there. You're going to go up there and select XVID and hit configure. Now, you can take this and put it wherever you want. Low quality is going to make the squares, like not the pixels, but the individual, the compression is going to make giant squares and dithering and shit. But you'll get crazier, cooler data moshing effects. And if you put it into, I don't know, After Effects or Premiere, you can just splice it up to the point of the data moshing anyway. So if you do this, it'll get you more crazy shit. I'm going to put it right in the middle, and then we'll fuck around with it. I have some presets to look at, too. In motion, you don't have to touch anything in here. In frame, maximum consecutive B frames is 0, and maximum iframe interval is 9 quadrillion. Do a gorillion iframes. I think that's it. You just have to fuck with maximum iframe interval and this. So if you save it, save yourself a lot of trouble in the future. Whatever, something that you'll remember. So you're going to hit OK, and make sure the format is AVI. You don't have to do anything with audio. You can actually, there's a way to omit the audio. I don't know how to do it, but don't go to File, Save Project. Go to File, Save Video. Save it on your desktop, something, I don't know. We're going to call it boom.avi. It does not write the extension for you, but you don't need it yet. If you just save it as boom, it's going to render it. But if I go to File, Close, and I drag that in there, it knows what it is. So if your video has any hard cuts in it, like a switch of frames, if you hit up, you can jump between iframes. And iframe holds, as you can see right down here, iframe holds the information on how, if you were to take this first frame and hit right and do that and delete it, it loses all of the initial information. So when you want to get a whir, like a motion blur kind of thing, you have to study the action a little bit, and you have to get it on a point. I guess the distance traveled between frames is going to determine how crazy the bloom is going to be. So right here, if I do this to this, my hand's going to float a little bit that way. But if I do, say, this right here to right here, my hand's going to fly down this way. Right there to right there. You know, copy this, move over one, copy, like Control-C and then Control-V a handful of times. The thing that sucks about AVI Demux, right? You're thinking, oh, I'm just going to blow this up, right? I'm just going to add a billion frames. I'm at 121 right now. If I just hold down Control-V, it'll just break. So you got to be kind of cautious with it. And don't ever load your crash file. It'll just break again. Find the point where you want to do it again. Now, if you'll notice, I got these 2 frames here. I'm going left and right, and it's not changing the motion. Get this frame. You want to capture this frame with the motion on it. A, move over to B, Control-C, and then Control-V a couple times. You can usually keep track over here. If you watch it closely, it'll be like at 275 it'll crash. If you do it again, it'll crash again at 275, so just stop before then. If you just dragged it in here, it might still be up here set to divx. Switch that back to copy and make sure this is on AVI. If you switch it to MP4, it'll still work, but it won't be as good. Don't enable smart copy. Hit OK. Fuck2.avi. That wasn't a very good one. Control C, Control V, save, fuck2.avi. Yes, replace it. Do not enable smart copy. Yeah. Now, as you can see, it kind of... Ready? It's glitched, but then it hugs the thing. That's where the pixels settled, and now the AVI like hang on to where the pixels were, as if the video were just progressing as normal. But that's just one technique to get a pixel to get a frame to spin or bloom. Let's try some other way. All right, so you get two clips, and you have a hard cut between them, right? So now, if I were to export this, if I open that in AVI Demonx, hit no, same steps as before. You can go to, video, xvid, configure, and then you can select your previous preset. Okay, we got that set up. We're going to save it as boom2. It's going to render, okay, file. Close, set that back to copy, bring boom2 in, and then if you hit up, it will pull you to the next iframe right here. Hit up a couple times until you get to the transition. Select, move over, select. You've now selected, you've isolated the iframe right here. And what you're going to do is you're just going to hit delete, right? When you go to save, we're going to call this whoa.avi. You may no, hit OK. Right here, whoa.avi. Might not play in Windows Media Player. You might have to get VLC or something, but yeah. Alright, let's try that again. I don't know why I did that, but we're going to go to xvid, figure, preset, this, okay, save, and then file, close, copy, drag boom2 in here, hit up, find this iframe. You can see right down there it says iframe. Hit A, over 1, B, delete, save. So, some distinctions, right? That looks kind of stupid compared to the last one. So what happens is, when things start to move in this video, they are updated in the split. So, alright, so this is the end right here of that video. Now, if I had the last one where it was kind of still, it just kind of like moves the pixels a little bit. But when I spin the camera, all of this information in the background gets updated, and it's replacing all of the damaged pixels with new ones. It doesn't entirely fix it. As you can see, there's still a lot of shredding and there's still a lot of bloom all over the place, but for the most part it'll basically heal itself. For good spins, for good blooming, you want to use a clip that has a lot of stationary footage where the background doesn't move a whole lot. I mean, for the transition anyway. If you're going to use the blooms, it doesn't matter what you're doing. I have one video that's really good. Yeah, so I was just doing the blooming effect in different frames instead of just the same part. This is one with Sam Hyde. He's just... And then that right there is the technique. That is the technique where you split, you do a hard cut between two videos after this is all botched out. So you just blur this out and then hard cut to him coming through here. Since the camera is stationary, all of this background information is treated as exactly the same because the frames aren't moving or anything. But when he comes close to the camera, it starts to move. He like stomps on the ground and things start to move, and then these pixels update and these pixels update. So that one, all I did was I applied the bloom to the part where it zooms in and it just kind of blows up. So yeah, those are the two primary techniques. If you want to just break a video, here's a cool way to do it that no one really talks about. If you go to Audacity, you can file, import raw data, copy as path. Okay, and then you go to AVI, and then either one, little or no Indian, doesn't really matter. And then 2 channels. Hit import, and then there's a rule, one rule. Leave the first like second alone. Alright, so this right here, leave that alone. Go into this right here, pull into this like that, generate tone like that. So that is now corrupted the rest of the video. So if I were to go file, export audio as other uncompressed, we'll call this fuck.mov. I think that's what it was. Yeah. Save. Yes. Okay. Come into here, fuck.mov. And that just destroys the video.